Great concept, great video. Once again. Oh, I mean, man.
I feel like I have so much to say about it, and like I have like this bi-weekly meeting at work, so I always feel like I have like some of these weeks I have like a pod prep.
Yeah, I love it.
So we all we talked about was Donda and CLB.
That's it.
Mad takes, and because it's like a meeting of like 6 people, I'm like, ooh, I gotta save some of this for the pod. I'm gonna just wait my turn.
Mandem, it's not with a hype thing. A war.
The world general speaking.
Medea, we here. What's good, y'all? What's good?
Yes, sir. And of course, it's your boy.
Shop like Shak. You waste you.
It's been another couple of weeks.
Yep.
And it's gonna be another couple.
It's gonna be another couple of weeks, but it's all worth it in the end, man. It's all worth it.
How are you doing? How has life been the last couple of weeks? I know that you had bachelor party events that I couldn't be privy to because I was elsewhere, but now I'm back. And then we have the wedding, of course, happening next week. This time next week,
exactly.
You'll be married.
Exactly. I'll be a married man. Oh man, damn.
Yeah. Sweat a little bit.
Woo, it's dripping. I'm gonna need that time. I'm gonna need my rag, bro. Nah, but definitely it's been good, man. You know, busy as well, preparing for it, prepping for it, and everything like that. But from the bachelor party, that really set the tone, right? Like you do that, and then from 2 weeks ago, my head's just been like, all right, like it's go time. You know what I mean? The final preparations are taking place. Yeah, man, we're really just looking forward to the day, man. Like, you know, God willing, we get a nice day weather-wise, you know, no stress, no drama, just good vibes with our people, man. So just looking forward to that day.
When you say bachelor party happened,
what do you mean by that?
Listen. If you don't know, I'm going to tell y'all what happens on a bachelorette weekend does not get discussed. It's like going to Vegas. What happens in Vegas?
But you didn't. You was downtown.
But listen.
We could have ran into you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, Patrick, what are you doing here? I don't know. It's my bachelor. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Don't say nothing.
No. We definitely turned up with the boys that were in town. You know, there's a few of the guys, especially like you and a couple other of my boys who unfortunately couldn't be there. But the guys who were here, we made it the most out of it. Turned up downtown. COVID restrictions couldn't stop us. Bunk COVID. We were out there, turned up. I felt like it's funny we played Drake coming into this.
Yeah.
I had a moment where I felt like the boy. So
what kind of moment where you felt like the boy? Because he was very toxically masculine on this album. So I don't know what you're talking about.
But like not this album. We're talking like mob ties.
Okay.
So
you were singing a lot of these?
I was in an Italian restaurant, nice premium Italian restaurant. You know, had our own
clot desert eagle.
Yeah, he already knows. That's it.
The original.
You gotta play the gabagool. Okay,
That's it. Exactly. So shout out to my boy Aaron. He's a head chef at Figo, which is downtown Toronto. So big up to him. He niced us, man. He hooked us up, got us executive table. So all the mandem were there. We're taking part in the finest Italian dishes, things that I can't pronounce, having some drinks that I can't pronounce. But it's all good, man. We had the place on lock.
It's pronounced Negroni.
Yeah.
Negroni.
Yeah, the Negro. I had the Negro drink.
The Negro drink.
The Negro drink. Had a bunch of those. And it was a dope vibe, man, because we're, like I said, we had like the executive table in the restaurant. So, you know, people walk in, they're seeing the group of guys. We got the bachelor t-shirts on, and they're just like, yo, who are these guys? So they're
having a bachelor party. I know.
Yeah. But you see the eyes preying and things. So I definitely felt good. Man, just a ton of drinks, ton of good vibes. I loved it.
I have a question now because you had the shirts, and when we did our first mutual friend, his bachelor party, and that was our first bachelor party. I feel like that any of us put together.
Yes,
it was like on the fly. Let's figure this shit out.
Yeah.
But we had like t-shirts printed where on the back of it there was like a checklist of like different things for the bachelor to do and interact with other people, blah blah blah. You can make it up.
Yeah.
Is that like something that's going to be a pre-COVID thing or something like that? Because I don't know. I feel like that's
we didn't do that. We had the shirts, but we did not have the checklist. You know,
because you're not even like really supposed to interact with anybody other than who you came with, right?
Exactly. So that was one of the things that sucked. Like a couple places we went to were kind of chill, like they let you mix and mingle, right? But then we went to one other bar and they're like, yo, security literally came to our bar and we're like, yo, sit down, like go back to your table.
Really, security's on it like that.
On it like that. Like they were literally the table beside us. My man even said, yo, I'll put on a mask. The guy's like, nah, go back to your table. Like, so that kind of sussed the vibe a little bit, but you know,
I met so many strangers in America.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean, right?
So many strangers.
I mean, like, bro, that's a bachelor party, bachelorette. Exactly. That's what you do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but whatever, man. We made the most out of it.
You guys had like 4-wheelers and shit.
Yeah, we also went out during the daytime, did some daytime activities where, you know, it wasn't about getting lit. It's just, I mean, we got lit in a different way, man. We rented some ATVs. We're going through backwoods up in Collingwood.
I love backwoods.
Yeah. I mean, I know you do. I know you do. Everyone knows you do. But nah, we were out there, bro. Like that's a vibe. Like,
so how do you feel right now about next week?
I'm ready for it, man. Like honestly, all the prep, it's been 2 years just trying to prepare for this one day. I'm ready for it, man. Let's just get it. Let's get it popping.
Yeah, no nerves.
I mean, there's nerves for sure, but like,
what are you nervous about?
Let's get
deep. We want to be in the mind of a man who's about to be married. I want to know what's happening.
So I want to be like, obviously, I want to get my words right.
Safe space. Don't get your words right. Just raw. Just
raw dog. I want to get the words right. You know what I mean? I want to express I want to articulate myself in a good way, which probably won't happen, but it's fine.
Right.
And yeah, I just want things to go the way we have planned and envisioned for the day. Other than that, I don't have nerves about actually marrying like this girl. Like I love this girl. Like yeah, I'm not worried about that. You know,
I hate when people like joke about like, do you have any second thoughts? You got cold feet at this point. I think everybody is just like, I'm marrying you. Let's just fucking do this.
Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of where my head's at, man. It's just the day of. I just want things to go smoothly. I don't want hiccups. I don't want rings to be lost. I don't want people forgetting clothes. I don't want because I've been to weddings where this has happened.
You mean you've been to weddings where somebody's lost the ring?
Not lost the ring, but you know, they fumble, they misplace things. I've literally been to a wedding where the groom forgot his suit and had to like literally drive back. Yeah.
So it just started late?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, that's better than like wearing something else.
What are you gonna wear? Like you gonna wear a jersey and like a pair of Timbs to your?
You just wear your favorite something and just make a story about like, oh, this is the shirt that I wore when the Raptors won a championship.
Yeah,
2019, and I love it, and it's good luck.
And it's good luck when the Raptors got their ring.
Now I'm getting my ring.
Yeah.
See, you're in line. Just in case this happens, you already have your back. You'd be like, listen, I got it tatted. I got it tatted.
It's right there. But nah, man, that's so really like my headspace right now is just things go smoothly, go through the day. I know it's gonna be a blur. Everyone who's gone through this before has told me like, you don't even really remember the day.
And you're not even doing the reception part yet.
No. We're going to hold off to that until we can actually do it proper.
I feel like then I would be like so like ready and easy if I split them apart.
Yeah.
Because then if you're married and you're going into the reception, that's like that's like a piece of cake.
That's what I'm saying. So next year will be like mad fun, mad lit. But that's where my headspace is at right now, man. Feeling good about it. Yeah.
Love to hear that.
Definitely. But I want to hear about you, man. It's been a while since we connected. I know you were out in Cali living that LA lifestyle.
For a minute.
Yeah,
I guess we didn't pause for a minute. So I don't know. I was just in LA, working, hanging out with people, regular shit that you do when you're, not in lockdown city. And I fucked around and,
what'd you do? What's that? Uh-oh.
High key.
Yeah. You're an idiot.
I propose!
Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Hey, funny story. We walked right past this guy in West Hollywood the other day. I'm like, I should have said this to you. You lied. We both, right? I'm in love with the coco.
Hey. I'm in love with the coco. I got it for the Lolo.
I didn't get it for the Lolo.
No. I was about to say, don't say that part.
No.
Oh man, yes, let's go. So, congratulations, y'all. Congratulations.
We got engaged. Applause for me.
Yes.
Applause for
Shop like Shak.
For producer. We did it. Basically, I'll spell it out for you very simply, but I'll make it just in case people want to like potentially cry to this, but I won't do that.
Make them cry.
So when we went to LA, Coco's whole idea of like what we were doing was gonna like, we're gonna go and re-up on some cash. She's gonna be able to like work. Yeah. Because she's just been in Canada and can't work in Canada.
Yeah.
So we were out there kicking with people, working, all that stuff. And my whole mindset was, I have this ring in my pocket and let me figure out what I'm gonna do with it. And I won't lose it. I had that shit in my fanny pack the whole time. Let me just say, like, wow, I can't believe it was that secure. Like if I would have proposed and you would have been like, I saw the ring, I'd have been like, oh, true.
Yeah.
But I put it high enough.
Put it where I couldn't reach.
Couldn't reach.
Smart.
So as soon as I got there, we had the wedding that we went to in Oregon.
Yes.
And this is funny because I'm going back, and you guys remember when I was in Oregon. Had the wedding when I was in Oregon, and then I spoke to her best friend, who's one of her best friends, who's a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I have the ring on me, and I'm trying to propose while I'm out here.
Yeah.
The only thing is I got to make sure I get the blessing from both mom and pop.
Yeah.
So spoke to mom originally, like offer it because as soon as we landed in California, we saw her, showed her the ring while Coco was in the bathroom.
Yep.
And she's like losing it a little bit. And I'm like, okay, calm down, put it together. Get yourself together. She's coming back.
Yeah.
So I banged that one out early.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. And, happy that I can even have these moments.
Definitely.
So after that, we saw her dad the next day, but I was just like, didn't have the one-on-one time that I would like to. I would have liked to have, I didn't want to make it like, I didn't want to like pull him aside and then everybody wonder, like, I think that at that point, suspicions.
Exactly.
So I didn't want to force it. And we also discussed the potential of like kicking it at some point. So, I'm happy we waited because Coco she was sick for a second and then working and there's just so much going on. So we eventually was able to like have a day with Pops and went for lunch, all three of us. And then Pops and I had drinks. And then I told him, and I was more nervous telling Pops, as you would imagine, than telling moms.
Right. Of course.
I also didn't have the visual aids with me. So I couldn't
what are you giving my daughter?
See, the thing is, with the visual aids, you don't have to say anything. You just say, I got something to show you.
Yeah. Boom.
Pops had to be like, all right, well, so the thing is,
the voice cracks. So I want to
and he was completely down for it and just like, yo, why is it taking so damn long? And I was like, oh,
okay.
Love that energy. Cheers. All right, now I am easy. And I think that's probably where I didn't have any nerves no more. So after that happened, linked up with her friend again and been like, okay, got the blessings. Let's move this plan into motion, get it into motion. And she works at a spot on the hills.
Yes.
We've been there 2 times, like during our trip. Like we went there one night because it's a club at night, and it was one of the nights that I couldn't, like, I was really drunk, but I was like, wow, this place is amazing. And then and then we had another like pool vibe, and I was like, oh, this place is amazing.
Yeah.
So the idea was we were going to shoot promo shots for a new couples night that they were promoting starting the fall.
Okay.
That was the concept. And so we agreed upon that. She called Coco. I'm actually in the room when she calls Coco and is like, hey, what are you doing Friday or whenever the day was? I think it was Friday. Yeah. And are you available to like take these pictures that I need, blah blah blah. And Coco was like, oh, for sure I'm down. She's like, are you okay? Are you down, Shak? And I was like, oh, she's never shot me before, so yeah, I'm down. And then she's like,
super light skin,
ultimate, like, yeah, no, but she was just like, oh my God, I was nervous that he was gonna say no for a second. I'm like, you amazing liar.
We're both filthy liars.
She's a crazy liar. She's amazing. So we agreed to do the shoot.
Right.
Shoot day comes. This is after a long night out, and like, it's just taking a lot for us to get out of bed type situation.
Yeah.
Let alone get together. And think about it, we've been traveling for a minute, so like,
for sure,
we get tired of the same like rotation of clothes.
Yeah.
So Coco was just going through it like, I feel like I got nothing. I don't want to go. I'm just not feeling it. I'm also not feeling that. I don't think you were feeling that well that day either. So it was just like a lot going on. And I'm sitting there like, I'm about to pop this question in this motherfucker right now or what? And I was like, nah. And at the same time, her friend's like calling me and talking to her and trying to figure it out. And I'm like, if we get her out the door, we're fine. It should be fine. So we did. Eventually, we left.
Get that Pedialyte.
No Pedialyte. We should have had Pedialyte. We drove up there. Everybody is like, because I went there the night before actually to the venue,
right,
while Coco's working, and I met everybody. They all knew that I was gonna get engaged the next day. They're all excited. But when I showed up there the next day, they were all like, some people wasn't really that good with the lying.
Oh man,
you know, they're like, oh, I saw you last night. I was like, yo, shut the.
Oh man, don't kill the vibe.
You know, another person's like, did you do it yet? Another person said, congratulations, but Coco didn't catch any of those.
Ooh.
I caught the one that was like, I thought you were here last night, but I thought he was doing the white guy thing where he thinks every black dude, especially with the beard that's bald, looks alike.
And that's how I played it off. I was like, oh, it happens all the time. Yeah. Stereotype saving niggas sometimes. So, we walk through and we start taking the pictures. At this point, I feel like Coco's feeling a little bit better.
Okay.
Even so, she just like, I don't think you've really felt, you know, until like, I don't know, maybe until we started really getting into the shoot.
Right.
And then we walked over to the spot, where we were looking over the hills of LA, and as soon as like we were standing out there for a second, and the photographer was like figuring shit out, and Coco was talking to me, and she's just like saying like, talking about this place, this villa in Jamaica where we're like talking about getting married, and I'm like, like, yeah, that would be cool. You have no idea what's about to happen at all right now, right?
No, he said, are you trying to pressure me? That's what he said.
Oh yeah, I was joking.
Trying to pressure me? And I was like, no, I'm just saying.
Meanwhile, you're like, damn.
Yeah. So so then photographer comes back out.
Yeah.
She starts taking pictures of Coco, and then says, hold on, come here. I'm gonna and we discussed the moment that she starts messing with her hair and repositioning her, I'm gonna get behind her.
Yes.
She's like, I got behind her. She starts taking pictures, and then I go down on one knee, and she's like, okay, now turn to Shak. And that's the point where she sees it all, and you guys all saw the photos.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I love it. That's a master plan right there. Well done.
And like, I gotta give it to the whole team, because it was a whole team.
It's a whole team
came
effort,
through. Like
she had two of her managers there. The owner was there.
Wow.
She had 3 girls helping her. One girl's another photographer. She
had one person on the Polaroids.
Live Polaroids.
We had one person on
like videography.
Yeah, and then we had Champagne come out immediately.
Yeah, I saw that in video.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Damn, y'all snap. So you got this from multiple angles, like multiple like.
We got the video. So we got multiple mediums. So we got video, we got Polaroids, we got photo. Y'all snapped. I love it. It was perfect. I feel like we wanted to make sure it was captured. I wanted to make sure everybody was looking good, and everybody. I mean, just us two, and make sure that it wasn't like a spectacle.
Yes,
like I didn't want to like be on like Santa Monica Pier and just propose in front of a billion people.
Billion people have no idea who you are. They're not a part of your. No, you guys, you did it the right way. I'm happy for you guys. That's amazing. There's some similarities between your story and ours, man. That's crazy.
Really? You mean the proposal?
Yeah, like So we were actually drinking the night before. Ashley was hungover, was not. So I had to like second guess my plan.
She's a normal girl.
Yo, so I had the same moment as you where I'm like, okay, how am I doing this right now? My girl's not feeling well. Like I had everything lined up to do it. Are we still going to be able to like get dressed up, get the, because I want to make sure she's looking her best. Like I want to capture this on camera. I want to make sure she's good. So yeah, I feel the same way where you're talking about that, man. But it's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful.
Yeah, when it happens, it's like, okay, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm done being shiesty. Did I stumble my words?
Yeah.
No.
Do you remember what you said?
So the thing is like, as soon as I kneeled and she saw me, she like ran away from me. So like, it was just like hard for me to like do anything. And then let alone like, I felt the further she went away from me, the more awkward I felt being on my knees. I'm like, I literally told her, I'm like, babe, come back. I feel a little awkward.
Wait.
But no, I basically said like to the point I was saying, or how I opened this was, you came out here thinking that we were out here just to make some dollars and make some money and work. I came out here to basically tell you I want to spend the rest of my life with me. Coco.
Bars.
Will you marry me? Type
bars.
That's not what he said at all.
What'd I say? That's how it sounded. Already? This happened like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, man.
What'd I say?
The first time you said those words to me were like 2 days ago.
That's hilarious.
But you said my full name, my full government, and I didn't let you say anything else. I was like, what's going on? Shut your mouth.
Well, I did say it. You didn't hear it.
I didn't let you say anything else.
Because she hit me in my mouth and was like, stop it. Just give me the ring.
Just give me the ring.
I was like, don't. There's people looking.
Oh, man. It's beautiful. Beautiful moment.
So
congrats, man. Congrats to both of you. Welcome to the club.
Yes,
enjoy it. Live in this moment. Honestly, like live in this moment. Bask in it.
100%. I'm not even trying to like. Everybody's like, okay, when's the wedding? I've had somebody say, when is the or what do you have planned for the honeymoon? I'm like,
bruh,
what?
Like,
when our babies, I'm like, everyone calm down.
Yeah, people,
we did this step. Let's talk about this.
Yeah,
let's talk about this right now.
Yeah, we're still in step one.
So when's the wedding? No. Nah, but for real, like honestly, enjoy this moment because people said that to me. And I was like, yeah. But nah, like seriously, enjoy this. It's just bliss. Like you just feel like you're like on clouds, like you're skating. Like, I don't know. It's an amazing feeling, when you're fresh off of it. So just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take it from a guy who just got in and is about to get out to the next step.
To the next step. Yeah, man. Most definitely.
So do we want to branch off with this conversation into like a little bit about, I don't know, we could stay on this a little bit because I know I wanted to talk a bit about, because I just had a lot of questions myself being the dude that was like, I'm ready.
Yes.
And what happens now?
What now?
And I feel like all I've seen on my timelines have been like people getting engaged, married, all these stuff. I know that there's a couple dudes that are like next up.
Yeah.
I know that there's a couple that are thinking like, okay, how do I make that next step?
Yeah.
When you knew that it was time, what was your first step? I'd say,
man,
because I know the first step is obviously like, okay, the ring, but like, what does that mean? Do you go to People's Jewelers and check it out, or like, how does that work?
So that's the thing, right? Like, I think like, if you don't know better, that's where you end up, right? But there's so many other places. Like, please go to other places.
So many.
Please just go. Yeah, do your research. Ask a friend. Ask one of us. Just do your research. But even before that, for me, it was, let me talk to the family. You know what I mean? Let me talk to her friends. Let me just get a sense of like, what the room is like, what the reception is going to be like. Because for us, like we had talked about it, but like I want to know from them. What has she said to them?
You're talking about in terms of what the wedding?
Not the wedding, but like
you're talking about the proposal.
Like proposal, right?
What those expectations?
Yeah. Because and everyone's situation is different, but like I know some women and some guys, they talk about that. Like they know what they want the proposal to be. They know what they want their wedding to be like. we never had that conversation. We never talked about like dream proposal, dream wedding, right? So I literally was going in blind. So for me, it was like, I want to get the perspective of some of her girls. Let me talk to them, see if they know any inside stuff, you know? And then it was behind the scenes. You're kind of sneaking around, you know, trying to figure out ring size, trying to figure out how you're going to do the proposal. You know what I mean? That was the step for me that was tough.
So did you have to find the ring size at that point after all of that?
Yeah. So now I got to think back. So I had the vision in the beginning of the year. So we got proposed like 2019, right? And probably around springtime, I knew like, okay, I want to do this year. And I was trying to line up when. So I was like, okay, let's do this in the fall. That's around our anniversary when we started dating. And so I started the motion of talking to the friends, the family. I had her best friend, one of her best friends, do some research, find out the ring size for me, you know, find out what kind of ring she's into. So meanwhile, while we're doing this, I'm sending her photos of rings that I see to her best friend. She's telling me, yeah, I like this one, not so much this one, whatever. So that's happening on one side. Then I'm talking to her mom, her brother, you know, just getting their blessing, getting how they feel about it. Very similar to what you did. And then it's like, okay, boom. Once you get those blessings, once you get that confirmation, you get that confidence. And it's like, all right.
How awkward did you make those conversations?
Not awkward at all. Not awkward at all. Like,
because you can make it really awkward.
You can.
You're an awkward person. Yeah,
you can.
It's uncomfortable for you or whatever.
Yeah.
The relationship isn't there, maybe.
Exactly.
But exactly. You need to have that conversation with
you
them.
have
Sometimes
to.
that can be.
You have to. And like if someone's listening to this and they're not quite there, build that relationship. You need that relationship with the family. Like, especially if the person's close with their family. Yeah. If they're not, then, you know, it's a little bit different. But if that family dynamic is tight, make sure you have a good relationship with the family, man. Like that's going to matter a lot. Right. So, you know, I talked to her moms. Moms was very like excited. Same thing. I was like, please don't ruin the surprise. Like I literally did the same thing. Like I was over at their place one day, actually went to the washroom. She was away or whatever. I think she was grabbing a shower. And then, so I was talking to moms at the same time. I was just like, okay, here's the plan. And she's getting all excited. I'm like, okay, shh, like don't say nothing. So I was nervous because I told her first. And like, you know, parents aren't always the best at holding in secrets, man. Let's be honest. Right. Yeah. And then the conversation with her brother, that had me nervous. Cause like that's big bro.
Which part about it? Was it just the fact that it's big bro, or was it?
Yeah. And I know, like, you know, he carries a lot of weight, like, you know, and in the relationship that they have. So, and, you know, I'm just thinking about like, I know I have an older sister, but I'm still mad protective of my sister. You know what I mean? Like, so I was kind of nervous to go into that.
So you're like, I can only imagine what a big bro
is going to be. I'm
a little bro.
Yeah. But nah, that was a mad cool conversation. We cracked some beers over it after I told him. He's like, he welcomed me into the family, like legit. He's like, I've always wanted a brother, like, yo, welcome in. You know what I mean? So that I'd say is like a big step, man. Make sure you're cool with like the family.
I feel like that part I wasn't ready for, the whole like, I've always wanted a brother and like the true like welding of two families. Cause like I was excited to be engaged. I was excited for like the in-laws and all of that, but I wasn't thinking of people really considering you like a sibling now.
That's it.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that as something like, whoa, I didn't think about it at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like your two families blend, right? Like, of course you're going to go off and you're going to have your own family, but like, that's it right now. You know what I mean? So that's mad important. And I think like not rushing the process either. That's big. Like take your time, you know, think through things, make sure like your mind is clear. Like don't rush into any decisions, you know, sleep on it. You know what I mean? Whatever you're trying to do, whether it's a ring, whether it's how you're going to propose, all that stuff, just think about it. Take some time.
See, I think if I can give anybody advice, mine would be like, I would just say, retweet whatever you just said. Yeah. And then like, in the early stages, if you feel like this is going somewhere, I think you got to take real life notes on like, because this is where you can take advantage of getting very good intel where someone's very unsuspecting. Like we talked about, like Coco told me her ring size from mad early.
Okay.
And what her ideal ring would look like. I knew that, and I wrote it down from like 3 months.
Boom.
I'm like, oh, perfect. Now, whenever I'm ready, I just got to refer back to this book.
There you go.
I got it all right there.
Put it in the phone. You're good to go.
Exactly. I think like that's where you don't have to worry about it and like, find inconspicuous ways of figuring it out, or even just putting other people up to it. Because I feel like, I don't know, I'm very good at ruining my own surprises. So I can only imagine what it's like when somebody's like, hey girl, what's your ring size? I'm just curious. Like, look at my ring. And you're like, wait a minute. I feel like that would be me.
Fair.
That would be my advice for the ones that are just starting off earlier in the game.
Yeah.
With theirs.
Yeah. And it's man, I tell people like, when it's mad cliche, but it's one of those things where it's like, when you know the moment's right, when you know that person is really for you, you will know. Like, it's not something you can rush. It's really just an instinct. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, man. It's just, I'm sure you can like speak to that.
Yeah, everything was very instinctual, and like I also felt like it just there's a lot where I can simplify it by just simply saying, when I met her, I just felt like that energy needed to stay around me. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
It's the vibes, man.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, wow, that's different. I've never felt anybody like that before. And I feel really cool, like just being around you. I feel great. Like, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I was just like where you're even from an acquaintance level. I was like, oh, this is dope.
Yes.
And then also just like, now that we've been dating, and I'm just seeing us walk into rooms, and I'm seeing how people are like, wow, you're a vibe. And I was like, I'm not the only person.
Yeah, that's so weird. Like, we got that too. And I think when you have that energy with your significant other, that's huge. When other people notice it in you and just look at you and be like, there's love there, there's a lot there. That's all you need right there, man.
So I just wanted to give a couple gems out there to the homies.
Hey.
I want to go from one certified lover boy to the next.
Okay.
And also maybe discussing Donda, and
let's do it.
Just I want to discuss them together because I think categorically speaking, they're
synonymous with each other.
Synonymous topically, but realistically, both albums are completely different categories to me.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I'll start with Donda. That came first.
Yeah.
The rollout was stretched, and Kanye would have been taking us for a whole world tour for a year and would have never released it if the label didn't just pull the trigger and say, fuck you, Kanye. The people need this, and we need the money from this now. I don't care if this is...
I don't care about your merch. I don't care about your stadiums.
Yeah, exactly. So that came out, and like, if you've never heard me speak about Kanye, I'm not per se like a Kanye fan, but I'm an appreciator of what he does, and I think I enjoy his production more than anything. What I'll say about this project as in totality as a piece of work, and I think maybe we talk about one, the other, and then both.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
This album in totality was like, it felt as unstable as Kanye's Psyche.
Ooh.
It was like kind of all over the place. It felt hard. It was hard to like listen to front to back. I think I got to about 65%, 70%. And then at that point I was like, oh, these are the same songs with a couple of different people. And now I feel like I'm crazy. Have I heard these songs before? Has the album already been done? And then on top of that, you have no artwork, you have no features, so you have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And then I also felt like the best part of this Kanye album was any of the features. And I felt like if Kanye took a back seat and just let these artists do what they do, and he basically played more of like a DJ Khaled role, but a more hands-on version, because I'm sure he would have liked to do that, this album would be sick. But this is Donda. This is his album.
Yeah.
It's dedicated to his mom, Ish. It's dedicated to his mom and Drake. And that's what I felt like. It was, I thought it was weird that you take an album dedicated to your mom, named after your mom.
Yeah.
With a lot of samples from your mom.
Yep.
And then part of the rollout, you just made it about this other dude and your beef.
Yeah.
And even just the whole where like Drake eventually leaked that song with Andre 3000 and Kanye, and it was supposed to be a dedication to both of their mothers.
Yes.
And Kanye changed his verse to beef with Drake, probably because he felt like, oh, if I put this verse on an Andre song, it's gonna get the most amount of love.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't love it.
Right.
But there were songs like the one I just played, Off the Grid,
yeah,
Hurricane, and a couple others that were like, okay, those are all right. And I think it's, one person that I spoke to earlier today, he was basically like, if I made a playlist of 9 songs that I liked off this album, it would be an amazing album. And so, I can hear that.
I want to come back to that point because I feel like that about the other album we'll get to, but specifically just sticking with Donda and just to go off of what you said, I think I said it a few pods ago where I'm like, this album has to slap because you can't name something after your mom and it not be fantastic. Absolutely. Like I just feel like that's blasphemy right there. But it started off from the first song, the Donda chant.
Can we talk about the Donda chant?
He lost me from that point. I was like, come on, Kanye. Yeah, I was not a fan.
I'm like, are you trying to hypnotize me into loving this? Because I'm not being hypnotized and I don't love this.
Exactly. And then I could have done without that, but I really liked what came next with Jail. The album itself in totality, I feel very similar to you where there's a lot of songs I could have done without. There's, I'd say about six to 7 songs that I think were really solid on the album. And it's because of the features, like you mentioned. Like one thing I'll say about Kanye is I feel like as his career has progressed, his lyricism has gotten worse. His ability to rap has gotten worse. Like if you talk the first 4 or 5 albums of his career, fire. And I'm not saying he wrote all those. I know he had writers, but he's just gotten worse with whatever he's saying. Just does not. It's not coherent. It doesn't flow. It's not good. And he lost me on a few of these songs with that, man.
And that's where I was like very confused about it because he's very competitive. He was very competitive in the rollout of this. Like it's me versus Drake.
Yeah.
And if you're saying me versus Drake, I'm trying to listen to what you have to say, not what 5Yo is gonna say, not how great The Weeknd's hook is gonna be, not how amazing Lil Baby sounds on this song. I want to hear what Kanye West had to say. And I didn't hear much that I was like, he's spitting. I was like, this beat's cool. These features are amazing.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I have to say about Donda from front to back. And I don't understand how anybody else would think any different about anything Kanye had to say.
Let me ask you a question. Cause like I was talking about this with one of my boys and I was like, you know what? The album, after one listen, I was like, the album's not that bad, but I feel where he's going to lose a lot of people is when he focused on like the songs that focus on like Jesus and religion and stuff like that. And I felt like, while I really like that stuff, I can feel why that's not for everyone.
You can understand.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's where he lost some people?
I don't even think so. Like, no? Okay. because he gave us very little information about any of these songs.
Yeah.
So even though some of these had more of like a gospel sound or like the names had to do with Christianity or whatever.
Yeah.
Baby Keem was on it and it was lit. And I was like, oh, it's like, yes, gospel, whatever. I thought it was just a very interesting combination of like organs and 808s in some situations. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It didn't like as much of quote unquote gospel. I'm gonna say not gospel album. It had gospel sound
for sure.
As much as it was like that was not a deterrent for me to listen to this. And that I don't know if that's just me because I grew up like a Catholic boy, so this is shit that is already ingrained in the back of my head anyways. But it wasn't a reason for me, or I can't imagine that it was something that would polarize Kanye stans because as much as it was part of the sound, it wasn't super part of the content, I feel.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
It was super part of the content.
As far as what they were talking about?
It was said several times, even if it wasn't every single song, or if it wasn't the whole song, it was in almost every single
I feel like it was the red thread throughout the whole thing.
Polarizing, and it turned some people off, but I think people were turned off by a million tracks before they were turned off by.
So I think, let me clarify. I feel like there was a whole lot more that would have turned you off from this album before we say that this was like the whole gospel influence. I think the whole frustrating rollout for Kanye stands. Like I've heard multiple people be like, yo, I'm done with this guy.
Yeah.
Just straight up, like how you like.
We've said that before. People have said this before, man. Everyone keeps saying they're done with him.
I feel like they mean it now. It's like he's turned to this like this beast. Like we know what we're gonna get from Kanye now. Before it was like I don't think which Kanye I don't know what Kanye we're getting.
Yeah,
but now I feel like we know what Kanye we're getting. And even though we don't know what we're gonna get, we know which Kanye we're getting.
No, definitely. I got one more point, but I'll save it because it's going to feed into when we talk about both albums. Yeah. So just remind me on that.
So what did you think about, what did I say before that you said you wanted to, so if Kanye took a backseat of this on this album and just turned it into like a more of a compilation piece and it wasn't Donda, it was Kanye and Friends. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Would you think that album would be like better?
Yeah, so that's okay. So I'll just say my point right now. I think that's the issue with Kanye is everyone knows from a producer standpoint, from making songs, he's a genius. Like he is one of the greatest to do it. But when it comes to him on a song, it just doesn't work. So I definitely agree with that point. I think he needs to take a back seat, produce the songs, do it as, like you said, like a Kanye and Friends. And just let people rock because everyone goes hard on a Kanye beat. Like his beats are fire, his production's wicked. People know, they get amped. They're like, yo, I got Kanye producing for me. Like I'm gonna spit hard. I'm gonna drop a
boy on a Kanye beat,
bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Like if those two just suck up their pride and just like work together, bro.
I blame Kanye for this because I blame Kanye more so for this beef being where it is today.
Yeah,
just based off of the rollouts, I can tell who's in their feelings about it more so than the other. Like, Drake left it all out on wax, basically just saying everything there. He left it there and that's it. And I think he's got a right to say his piece, but I feel like I can tell he had fun making this album.
Of course.
This is Kanye who's just like, you're gonna get it right. You're fired. You didn't show up at 10 a.m. You're fired.
Yeah.
And like people are passing out in the studio, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
He's obsessed. He's obsessed with Drake. It's not good. It's ruined the music.
I feel like it was good for him to align himself with that rollout. I mean, mind you, he did come out before, but it was good for him as far as like eyes on it, getting somebody like me who's not really into Kanye to really pay attention. And I'm sure I was going to listen regardless, but I made sure to listen. The moment it came out, it was a thing. It was a moment for me to say, okay, I listened to Donda.
Yeah. But one time only.
Yeah. I don't know. There was a couple songs, but I need him to give me the features so I know which ones to go back to.
Yeah. Can we just talk about like, stop making songs or albums that are like 21, 26, 20. Yeah. Stop it.
So did you think you thought CLB was too long?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Drake could have done the same thing. Drake could have dropped 12 song album. Yeah, 12 albums. 12 song album. And people would have said this is his classic. If he did 12, give me 9 to 12 songs of just the best ones.
So I'll go into that one. And like, again, I had this conversation earlier that prepped me for this moment. But
okay, let's go.
Basically, the consensus, and I agreed when I heard this point, was like, typically with a Drake album, you have a song or two or three, even sometimes, where like these are the ones that everybody unanimously says they're bangers. That's it. They're being played in clubs, they're being played on radio, they're just everywhere. I don't know if this album has that. Even the single that he went with I Am Too Sexy, which I love.
Yeah.
But a lot of people didn't like that. They didn't like the sample. They didn't feel that song. So I'm Too Sexy is not it. It's definitely not 7 a.m. and Bridal Path, which is honestly most people's favorite songs.
It's fire.
But it's also not a single. It's not a single.
It's not. So
I don't know what the single would have been.
I was going to say Girls Want Girls, but nah, you can't do Girls Want Girls. That's not radio friendly.
None of it. He said his max. Didn't he say it's toxic masculinity at its finest or some shit like that? So that's the expectation he set.
Maybe You Only Live Twice, Lil Wayne and Rick Ross
would have been one, but like, I don't know. He just didn't have the one on here.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest critique about it. Other than that, like I really enjoyed the braggadocious, I'm the shit tone throughout the whole album. I think this is the first time like we got that for a whole project with Drake. He's been in his braggadocious bag, but I do enjoy when, whether it's like LeBron James saying, well, it's because I'm the greatest player. What do you say? I'm the best player in the world or something like that. I do appreciate somebody who's at the top of their class claiming their place. And I would do the same thing. And and I just enjoyed that tone. And that's like when I'm listening to hip hop, that's kind of the tone that I do look for, to be quite honest. And
for sure
that feeling. So
no, for sure. I definitely hear that. I'm still sticking with my guns. Like I feel like he could have cut this down and there probably would have been songs that stood out. I just feel like things get lost in the shuffle now when you're 21 songs in. He started strong. I will say this about Drake. Drake albums start strong and end strong. It's the middle where it's like, he always gives you a fire intro and his outros are not bad, bro. It's just the middle gets a little muddy. Like it's too much. He's a chameleon, right? He's going to try to appeal to everyone. So you're going to get that rap. You're going to get that gritty stuff. It's going to start the album. You're going to get the braggadocious.
Yeah.
You're going to get the slow R&B. Let me like either sing or like slow rap. I don't know.
But man. I also feel like this was the first album, and like since Drake probably got out the gate, that he decided to go back to like his sound. Like this is like a refined version of a lot of the like the So Far Gone sound, I felt in a lot of ways. With obviously like I think there was like a WizKid song on there. There's a couple, but like it wasn't like songs like or albums of past or projects of past where like you got like a UK drill song and you got like a it wasn't all over the place. It was this one.
It wasn't more life.
Exactly. So I appreciated that. One thing that I did realize, and I don't think I appreciate as much, is how transparent it is when I'm listening to a Drake song and I can tell you that Party Next Door is all over this song. So like we were listening to Fucking Fans or something like that. Was it Fucking Fans?
Yeah.
I'm like, this beat sounds Party Next Door. This sounds like Party Next Door. It's definitely sang the reference for it. I'd never heard it, but I'm telling you, I can imagine it exists.
For sure. In Division, or sorry, like 1985, like, like
writing credits.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Produced by Party Next Door, written by whatever Braithwaite, which is Party Next Door.
Yeah.
So, and also shout out to Antoine. Let me just do that one time.
Yes, big up Antoine.
You hear him on what was that track?
Which one's he on again?
What am I saying? Pipe Down.
Okay.
Pipe Down, and his vocals are like literally all over that song. So
yes. Big up to friend of the pod, man. Most definitely. There's some good songs out here. Like I can't front. I just wish it was shorter. Like that's my thing. I just wish it was shorter. Did not need to be 21 songs, man.
Do you not like having choice?
What do you mean? I do, but like, don't overwhelm me. I don't want to go to a restaurant and have to flip through 5 pages of a menu.
But you're not flipping through the pages.
Give me 2 pages.
This is a buffet. The food is on the table.
Nah, man. Because then I gotta sample No, I just want to follow.
Stop lying.
No, man.
If I gave you a table full of food, or I gave you a menu of 3 items, you'd sit at the table full of food.
No. Because here's the thing. I know those 3 items. Those are the best three items you have. Those are going to be fire. Else don't serve them to me. If I go to buffet, then I know maybe a couple things are good. The rest is trash. I'm going to throw it out. I don't want it. Well, I don't throw out food, but I don't want it.
So is this the difference between like Hong Xing and fucking Mandarin?
Me, yes. A limited menu means it's fire. You perfected that craft. Limited. Give me an album that's, I'm telling you, 9 to 12 songs. That's going to be way better than an album that's 21 to 27 songs.
I don't mind. Like, if you want to give me more, give me more. I'll just decide what I want to hear.
But I get it. We're in a singles era now. Like people don't listen to whole albums. We listen to singles, but I'm still old school like that. Like I want to listen to an album from start to finish and I want to be in that story the whole time. I don't want to be jumping around to this and that. Like I don't want a la carte. I don't want
I won't take you to a buffet.
All right, good.
So anything else on that album? Like was there any other standouts for you as far as singles on there or
on Certified Lover Boy?
Or moments,
so I want to shout out Thames, who's on Fountains.
Yes.
I first heard about her through like that song with Wizkid. She's having a crazy year, man. So shout out to her. Like I definitely am going to listen to more of her music. And I like that he does that. He'll put you on, well, not put you on, but he'll bring on artists who are, maybe not household names yet. And because of his platform, they become more of household names from different scenes and different genres. You know what I mean? Like someone from like the UK, he's done this a lot. And now Africa. So in the Caribbean, I love that too, man. Yeah, man. I actually really like You Only Live Twice. That just brought me back to an era of like a Just Blaze beat. What's the one that Rick Ross and Drake Ron and Just Blaze did it? Lord Knows?
Lord Knows, yeah. That's a good song.
It just brought me back to that era where it's just like, I'm telling you. So
yeah, it had a Lord Knows vibe to it.
Yeah. So for me, that's another standout song on the album for me.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. Like Fair Trade. Like
I don't even remember that one.
That's the one with Travis Scott.
Okay.
Fuck, he's got, honestly, like I love throwing this album on and just doing whatever. Honestly, one song that I gotta say that I really enjoyed from Rip was just hearing this. As soon as I heard that shit, that I was like, "Oh, you got my attention. I'm up."
Yeah. man. Nah, it's a solid. It's solid. It's a solid album, but Drake's mad consistent. He's gonna give you solid every time out. Is he gonna go to that next level? And I think that's what we're all.
What next level are you saying? He's already GOAT status.
But can he be more GOAT? What's better than GOAT? Oxtail?
Yo, Oxtail status. Word.
Yo,
I love that for like a measuring stick for where somebody is. You Oxtail status. You like, yo. Okay, I like that. That's excellent. Thank you for the episode title.
I got you.
One little big thing that I got to make sure that we get off, because I don't have that exact date. But it's like our 3-year anniversary.
Woo! Let's go. Let's go.
I just want to give kudos. Thank you. Thank you to everybody that keeps encouraging us to come back and do this week after week. Thank you to Patrick that keeps showing up.
Shout out to you, man.
Thank you to the fiancés. Right now, they're fiancés. Thank y'all for allowing us to perfect our craft. But it's been 3 years.
Hold on, we gotta give a big shout out though to your brother. We gotta give a big shout out to Malik.
Yes, shout out to Malik, the man who's been taking care of all the visuals for
all the rebrands, all the refreshes, everything that you see, all the graphics. Like, big up to the man. So
yeah, exactly. And yesterday's rate is not today's rate with it. Let me repeat. Yesterday's rate is not today's rate. So I appreciate him still showing up after the rates have changed. We've been through a lot of episodes. We've been through, I mean, I don't want to do the same thing every year because I feel like it's like, let's talk about our favorite episodes. Do you remember when Bird and Patrick were here? That's crazy.
Yeah, Brandon.
That's fine. Bird and right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Patrick's still here.
I'm still here. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was funny because I was just like going through
archives.
We were going through the archives, and I'm like, shit, I found Patrick's first hot take.
Oh man.
Patrick's
I've had
first
some wild takes.
ever.
I've had some wild takes.
And I'm very curious as to what it is because as soon as I heard that it was your hot take and I think I heard what it was about, I was like, okay, hold on, let's hold off. All right. This is episode 7. Episode 7. We're on. This is episode what? 130.
133?
3? Something like that.
133. Hey, shout out to 133 Nielsen. That's my boss.
Oh my God. This is episode 7. It was called Side A, Side B. Do you remember why?
Yo, don't tell me this was another Drake album, wasn't it?
No.
Oh no, this was the legalization.
Yes, sir.
Yes, episode. Yes,
the episode October 17th.
Shout out to Trudeau.
Of cannabis. So we recorded side A, where we were just having a regular pod, and then halfway through we was like, all right, it's blunt time. Let's hit pause on this shit and come right back blunted.
You guys almost killed me.
I'm looking at the wave spikes.
Yeah,
I can almost pinpoint where I think it starts. So I'm gonna play this clip.
Yeah,
we'll talk about your first hot take ever, and then maybe we might be lucky enough to hear us all high on the podcast.
Wait, hold on.
Patrick hot take?
Wait.
And a world general.
The world general speaking.
Yo,
is this Patrick's first hot take of the year?
I think so.
No.
It's like he's taking his first 3-pointer.
Right.
Yo, this Juice WRLD project proved to me that the future is washed.
What?
The world general speaking.
It was just further proof. So
okay,
he's coming on to
you need a lot of evidence.
Yeah, let me give you some evidence.
Because
he's never been a Future fan.
No.
Future
that's beside the point.
Just before you say what you're gonna say, Future is the Beyonce of niggas.
Whoa.
So you can't just say that.
That's a hot take in itself.
Is it? Yeah, I mean, no, he's cheating in line because go ahead.
So what I'll say to this is, and this is
a future hive though.
There's a future hive, but that's fine. But this goes to something that Shak and I talked about earlier, where you were saying I said this, and you were saying that, well, it's not his fault that his sons have sort of surpassed him and now taken the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
That who's his sons?
Lil Baby.
His sons are everybody.
Juice WRLD. Yeah.
I thought Gunna was Young Thug.
Gunna's Young Thug kind of. That's not the same thing.
He teeters the line.
He's better than Young Thug.
But without Young Thug, there's no Gunna.
But so there's that, right? These guys,
man, that is funny.
that
was funny.
Ooh. But was I wrong? I stand by my statement. Future on his own has not been the same since.
Don't 2 years later double down on us. Just looking at the things, just say 2 years later and change. Like, don't 3 years later double down on your hot take. Yeah, sure. That's funny, man. Because like I just there's just the perspective, and I feel like again, like when you start potting early, you're just like a whole lot more reckless with your takes and how you're talking. You're not as conscious about what you're saying. You're like a semi-automatic rifle, not even full automatic. You're just
Bro, you said he's the Beyonce of niggas.
I can't believe I said that.
Come on.
Wow, I can't believe I said that.
I can't believe
I said that. Wow. Do I see?
I hope they come. I hope they come for you after this.
No, they won't, because they'll understand that was 3 years ago, and cancel culture isn't prevalent here at Not With the Hype.
We're not with cancel.
Not with the cancel, exactly. So I'm gonna fast forward, and hopefully this is exactly where I think it is, the exact one where we walk in.
I've come and surpassed them. Then there's also the fact that he was supposed to go on tour with Nick.
Smoking woods on our ends, you know what I mean?
Honey backwards.
Straight up.
Yeah, our Russian cream thing still on special.
Looks like we just called somebody.
Just called someone random. That's what we used to do back in the day. Just go through the Rolodex.
The whole of Wu-Tang. Fuckery. I think, man.
Broke the butt. There we go. I think we were just
it's just mad giggles.
At that point. But that was definitely one of my favorite episodes. The next one actually is Black Joe Dirt, which is what we called Brandon. Because he was supposed to be Donald Trump but he put
cake soap on his face. It looked like he
And his hair looked like a mullet.
His hair looked like a mullet.
So Bird's like, yo, you're Black Joe Dirt. That's what she looks like.
Oh man, yes. Oh, that's hilarious.
No, we had plenty. Oh, even some of these covers are really funny.
The covers are what kill me, man. Like, I love the Bird Box one, man.
The Bird Box one was really
that
good.
Cover is amazing.
There's also you in like that tub thing.
Yeah, from Happy Place.
Happy Place is the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes a lot to pod.
Yes.
I have a clip that is oh so relatable.
Okay.
I feel like this is just my life podding, especially considering I'm below floors with everybody. But let me know what you think.
Podcast. I am so excited about fantasy. You motherfuckers! You motherfuckers won't fucking stop! I'm fucking podcasting, fuck! I'm doing a goddamn fucking podcast! You motherfuckers are running around like fucking Mary Lou Retton! You heel striking motherfucker! Fuck!
And then Michael Rappaport, that's Michael Rappaport.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
He commented on that like after World Star reposted it.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, they're literally running sprints upstairs right now for real.
Is that what it's like in your crib?
It's more so about the Wi-Fi connection. I'd be out there like texting everybody like, get the fuck off.
Yo, please just get up. I'm just trying to pod. Yeah. No, I'm in my basement too, so I hear those steps, man.
No, but 3 years later, I've hardwired and things have changed.
Hey, boss up.
But yeah, 3 years of podding. Do you have a statement for the people? You're media trained.
Hey, you know what? You got to put in the time. You know, there's a lot of grinding. You know what I mean? We had to figure out things on the fly, teach ourselves a lot of the tricks of the trade, if you will. But here we are, man. We don't stop. You know, you get those shots up in the gym every day, man. We put in that work, and we still doing it. We ain't done yet.
Yeah, I think what I will say is that this has taught me that if you do something enough times, you're just going to be good at it, and you'll be successful at it.
That's it.
There's a lot of things creatively that I've started and stopped. I'm sure a lot of people have done the same thing where you've tried something and like for whatever reason you stopped. Trust me, if you kept it going for 2-3 years, it probably would have been fire.
That's it. You can't go in the gym one day and expect to come out with abs and just be D's. You gotta work at it. You gotta eat right. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with this. Like, we don't just jump on here and expect to sound good. We had to listen back to our early stuff. We had to get better. We had to learn not to talk over each other. You know, we had to figure out,
especially virtually.
Exactly.
Like the cadence of like virtually figuring that shit out in the first couple months of the pandemic was painful, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, you know, it takes time. It definitely takes time, but consistency is the key.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're like Drake now. We're out here, just consistent performances.
Yeah, I should come on the next episode, just like shitting on everybody. Be like, yo, I do this.
Hey, we give you solid 20 and 10 every game.
Yeah, some games might be a 10 and 10, but you know. I do want to spend some time and talk about the passing of the legendary Michael K. Williams.
Yes.
He passed away a few days ago. And if you don't know Michael K. Williams, I don't know who you are. Or where you're living, because this guy has just been the star of too many things, and he's just done a lot of I didn't know that Tupac discovered this guy.
Wait, what?
Tupac discovered him. He's a backup dancer, I believe. But like he was. I just saw this interview where he was explaining that like back in the day, they would basically discover you for a lot of like movies, music videos, that kind of thing, just based off of headshots. Tupac saw his scar and just like his look, and what movie was it for? The Tupac one? I can't remember the name of the movie, but this was his first movie ever that he was in, and he was casted because Tupac basically identified him, and from there he started to work.
Okay.
But this guy's been in everything. I really appreciate like everything from like Lovecraft County to country. Is it county or country?
Country.
Yeah, Lovecraft Country.
That's what I saw him in last. So
yeah, that was one of the last things I saw. Community, he's funny. That's like a random one that he was in. He's just played a teacher in I think for a season or two.
For a season, yeah.
He was in obviously The Wire as Omar.
Yeah.
He was in Boardwalk Empire as Chalky White, and I haven't seen that, but I heard like he killed that role. So I think Boardwalk Empire is on the list, babe. Yeah. How did you feel when you saw the news? And mind you, the news came out through like the New York Post posting an article that was just kind of like he was discovered dead in his apartment. There was paraphernalia around, so a suspected overdose, and then they like alluded to a lot of like conversations around like from 2016 and prior where he was dealing with substance abuse and such.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, man. Like I feel like the conversation shifted from like celebrating for a moment. I think we're now celebrating his legacy in his life, but very early on it was all the talk about the drugs and overdosing, and it's like, yo, we just found out this guy died. Like, can we have a moment? Can we piece together like what happened here instead of just, let's dig up old stories, let's dig up old facts of past experience with drugs and whatever the case may be. Like it just, the narrative was not, I didn't like it personally. I didn't like the narrative right off the rip.
I think it's like, because everybody likes to be first.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to be the source of exclusive information.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure New York Post had that exclusive information as far as like paraphernalia and quotation marks as to whatever that means. And I was basically saying, I'm like, I don't know if this guy was still dealing with issues. He could be, but he could have had a bong next to him or something. That could be smoking weed. I don't know. To some people that don't know anything about weed consumption, shit could be looking funny. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know what it was, but either way, a man passed away. We don't know why. There was things around open for speculation. We know that there was no foul play, but open for speculation. Everything is just, and I don't think when things are open for speculation that you start with like definitively this is what it is and speculate. Exactly. So I hated that, but what I did love is that none of the narrative around anybody who was celebrating the memory of Michael at all said anything about that attacking his character, which is exactly what that original New York Post article did.
Yeah. It's like, I was gonna say victim shame, but it's not really victim shame. It's kind of just, you start bashing the person who just died, who's just deceased. Like, no, let's have a moment to say how tragic this is. It's crazy, man. That happens so often with celebrities, I find a lot with obviously celebrities, you hear about their deaths more, but even just with narratives in general, like everyone rushes to, like you said, either be first. No one cares about accuracy. No one cares about fact checking. Yeah. It's just, let me just get this out there now, and people run with it.
I just don't like narrative. I get why narratives are so important to people now. I just hate them. Like when we're talking about something as silly as like basketball, for example, I don't understand why every single morning I wake up, there's a new storyline as to why a player is feeling this way and they're going to go and do that and blah, blah, blah. And like, it's the summertime. Nothing's happening. You're making this up.
Yeah.
Just let it, like, maybe sometimes we don't have to tweet. How's that?
Exactly. And you know what it is? I think I may have mentioned this before, but I feel like it started, this whole idea of creating narratives started with the 24-hour news cycle. We just have to fill space. We have to fill time. There can't be silence. We don't know how to live in silence anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
We're not comfortable in silence. And I think that's where your mind starts running. People start creating their own stories to fill that void, to fill what they don't know, to explain what they don't know. You start creating stories to help you get through whatever it is, to help you understand what's happening.
Constantly filling voids.
Yeah.
So I was just really happy to see that didn't take it over, but it was just more of a celebration of his life and his legacy that he's left, because apparently he's impacted a whole lot of people as far as like intimate relations and conversations and words of advice and wisdom that he's offered on to people. I saw this clip from Joe Budden's podcast where he was talking about how he had a personal connection to him. I'll play it. It was kind of like really touching to hear, but like amazing to see somebody else acknowledge somebody who was going through some shit that I know none of us really can understand.
Up in 2009, somewhere back there, and my mom was going to church, and she did what any mom would try to do. She said, come to church. I see Michael K. Williams at the church, but that don't tell me nothing. I just kept seeing Michael K. Williams at church, and now some type of way through the grace of God, now we have after meetings at church. There was a select, chosen few of us that was dying. And we shared shit in there that we probably don't share nowhere, man. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh shit, we understand each other on a deeper level. And you see how they're coping with it. And you see how they bodying shit out here. This guy, he was killing shit, but he was in pain. And I seem to have this ability to be able to spot that guy in a fucking crowd. It's heavy. I fell in love with Mike in the meetings, man.
And I heard so much. That's really like that almost got me
raw.
again.
Yeah, trust, man.
And I've heard like there's this article, and I really do want to give it a chance and read it because it was talking about like the toll some of these roles that he was taking on might have played on him, especially like Lovecraft Country. That there apparently was like a serious toll that took. I don't know why, and I don't want to speak out of turn on it, but they did take a break in filming it.
Okay,
and I do recall that all of his co-stars rallied around him staying a part of the show when perhaps they were thinking about moving in another direction.
Wow.
And they waited for him.
Wow.
So, you just really never know, even through a lot of the ways that people shine in their art form or whatever, that they might still be suffering behind closed doors. You really never know.
Yeah.
We saw like a Heath Ledger, for example. We had no idea how much like what the role of the Joker might have played, on his demons that he faced.
For sure. I mean, and Michael K. Williams played some legendary roles, but they, like you said, they were heavy roles, man. Like I haven't finished The Wire. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I can only imagine that's a legendary role for him, like his most iconic role. There was some heavy stuff in that show, man.
Very.
And like he took on some serious roles, and he's done some comedic things for sure. He had that side to him, but you don't know what that trauma, you take on a role just because you're not in it anymore. Who's to say that doesn't stay with you?
Yeah.
And who's to say to get you into that mind state to play that character? What do you have to do internally to get yourself ready for that role?
I think both of those things are very important because I think I've heard both sides from actors in interviews where they're just like, to get myself into this role, I really dove in and I was in a dark place. Like something like The Punisher, what's his name? John Bernthal, who's the main star.
Amazing actor.
Killed it, but he said he really dove into that role so much so that he was just like not really a nice guy to be around, like to his kids and family and everything. Like he was really in the role.
Yeah.
And then I've also heard from other actors where it's just like, from every role that you play, you take something from that.
For
character.
sure,
there's an aspect of that character that you take and you carry it with you.
Yeah,
as you go about the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine after having so many, and I'm not saying that this is the reason why he's gone. I'm just saying that like this is the reason. These are contributing factors to the demons that one would fight that produces this type of art.
Yeah.
After playing some of these iconic roles, a lot of them deal with a lot of dark issues. Some of them are dark characters. A lot of the roles he had were villains that we eventually kind of not necessarily loved, but understood.
You understood, yeah.
So I can only imagine the toll that could take, and I really have no idea what it would have been like if they cross paths with real shit that you might have been dealing with in real life. Like just might be, you think that, it might be easier to play this role, but no, it's because it's like the toll that it'll take.
Yeah. It's hard, man. It's hard. And I think that's just something that we as spectators, we as the audience watching these just need to keep in mind and be respectful of just what it takes to get to that level of artistry.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
I do want to play a clip from Michael K. Williams' mouth so that he can leave us with a little bit of inspiration before I think we wrap this pod and talk a little bit more about what's about to happen next week and beyond. So let me play that clip here. Let me restart that.
It's not about making it out the hood. It's about being welcomed back. It's about being welcomed. And that's it. Like goes. It's worth a statue. It's worth that. That's priceless to be able to be welcomed back home. It's not about making it out the hood. It's about being welcomed back. It's about being welcomed. And that's it. Like goes. It's worth a statue. It's worth that. That's priceless. To be able to be welcomed back home.
What I'll take from that, aside from even just like, yeah, you're not from the hood.
Yeah.
What I'm taking from that is like being able to give to the next generation and to the next group of people that are looking up at you. And he was really good and keen on that. I've heard stories where somebody said, I want to ask you a couple questions. Can I get your autograph? And can I ask you a couple questions? And he's like, everybody just wants an autograph. I'd love to sit down and tell you or, answer your questions or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was that type of guy. Not too many people are like that. And I think, especially in our community, and often I've talked about with other people, the sharing of knowledge, the sharing of expertise, and passing it on, and making sure that all of this game can be free to certain people.
That's it.
Anything from how do I buy a house to how do I get into acting to how do I whatever. All this shit should be free game.
Yeah.
So I think with this mentality about like being, how are you welcomed back when you go back to the hood? How are you welcomed when you go and to your family reunion?
Exactly.
Like all of this stuff is all relatable. It doesn't have to be the hood.
Nah, it's your community. You know what I mean? Have you forgotten about where you came from? Or do you rep where you came from?
Yeah.
Not even just rep where you came from. Did you make an effort to have a meaningful relationship with the people in your community where you came from, who made you who you are, who are the fabric of who you are? There's people who just, maybe they throw money at a situation and they think that's it. Nah, money doesn't fix everything. It's about having those, like you said, those relationships, given back in a meaningful way that people respect you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And leave that legacy where it's like, yo, you come through, man, we got you. You want a plate? Like, you're good. You're welcome here. Your family, like, we got you, So that's definitely something I'm going to try to like live by, because that's big, man.
Yeah. So yeah, rest in peace, Michael K. Williams. I think his legacy will live on through his words and his service to others, and even just these moments right here.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna go and do out into this world is like that legacy is passed on to me, to whoever the fuck. So
exactly.
Rest in peace, Michael K. Williams.
Most definitely.
So again, this is gonna be our last pod for another
couple weeks.
2 weeks. But we're hoping, and I mean, this is by no way, shape, or form set in stone, but hoping that when we come back, we'll be together in person.
Yeah, man.
So I'm really excited for the wedding. I'm really excited for you to become a married man. I'm looking forward to all of that. This is gonna be fun. The mandem are all gonna link up. So
the mandem are all linking up.
Excited about it.
Yeah. Man, I just can't wait to be with the people, man. I can't wait to be with the family, the friends. Like, it's been a long time coming. I'm looking forward to it. And who knows? The energy might change. It's gonna be, I might have this aura around me. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a different vibes. But appreciate everyone for listening and just understanding. We live in lives. We both busy. Now you know why things have been kind of the way they've been. But we 3 years, man. We 3 years here. We ain't going nowhere. So keep listening, keep rocking with us.
Yeah, this fall will ramp right back up,
The world general speaking.
I'm not even gonna throw the socials. I just want to leave people with one last message. Get out there and vote. If you're in Canada, get out there and vote. All right, September 20th. this election really matters for our generation. So please get out there and vote.
Yeah, I got my ballot, and I'll be there with an excuse to be out of office for a couple hours.
Shop like Shak. You waste you.
If he's not saying the social shit, I'm not saying shit either. Whatever. This pod's over. I'm about to go celebrate my man's marriage next week.
Hey, let's go. Let's get it.
Woo. Not
with the wedding flow.
Got it? Hey.